Good morning, and welcome to Day 2 of the DiscoverE Global Marathon. We certainly hope that you enjoyed yesterday, and we think that we have a great day planned for today as well. On behalf of 3M Company across the world, we'd also like to welcome you. At 3M, we are a very proud employer of thousands of women and men working in the engineering and technology fields. My name is Nancy Seleski. I work in the industrial business at 3M and have responsibility for supply chain, quality, and environmental health and safety functions. We are very excited and honored to be able to share with you some of our perspectives on how diversity plays a role in high-performance teams and how we leverage our skills and traits as women to create better results, outcomes, and engagement. We have a great lineup of 3M women from all over the world to speak to you today. We will cover every region of the world, and you will hear individual perspectives, learnings, and tips from these women as they have experienced working on and leading diverse teams. I'll next review our agenda. Before I introduce the 3M panelists and before you hear from them, I will talk through, from my perspective, a bit about realities and opportunities in working on diverse teams that I've experienced. I would also say that my perspective would be from diversity as a perspective would be both from gender and from cultural diversity. If you have questions during our presentation, we have time at the end, so I would encourage you to think of any that you have as we go through the presentation. You can submit your questions online as part of the web conference. In addition, there's also a PDF file loaded that you should be able to download from the DiscoverE web conference if you are interested in a copy of our materials. So from my perspective, some of the realities associated with working on diverse teams. First of all, global business requires teams to work together from all across the world. And the very nature of the word diversity means that it brings difference. As most of us know, sometimes difference creates friction or conflict. And then in addition, from a gender perspective, men and women think differently, process information differently, solve problems differently, and communicate differently. As far as leveraging opportunities that diversity brings, not only does it bring difference, but because of that difference, it can lead to more creativity, imagination, and innovation. And for certain, business results are greater when that diversity is exploited and leveraged. I have found that diversity on teams, if open to the diversity, brings richer dialogue, more debate, and for certain, better outcomes. Diverse thoughts or perspectives allow individuals to develop new insights. And the best way to solve toughest problems is to gather diverse input. We find at 3M that teams for sure win more often and bigger when there is diversity on the teams that we put together. So next, what I'd like to do is introduce who you will meet this morning. From APAC, we have Erica Jin. She resides in China and is a senior engineering manager there. From Latin America, and here with me, we have Camila Cruz Durlacher. She is currently on a temporary assignment in the U.S., but originally from Brazil. She is a manager in our corporate research process lab. From Europe, we have Dalla Riva. She resides in Italy and is a European design manager for the consumer business. And finally, from the U.S., and here with me, we have McCarthy. She is a project manager in international engineering and works across the globe forming and developing teams. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Erica, and you'll hear from her from China. Erica?
Hi. Thank you, Nancy. Hi, this is Erica from China. As a 3Mer from Asia, I'm glad to join Global Marathon program with my colleagues together. I come from 3M China Engineering Group, major in mechanical engineering, was wing engineer when just joined 3M 16 years ago. In the last several years, I worked with other 3M colleagues on engineering projects, major of them asking global teams from worldwide 3Mers like technical coach, design review, project management, collaborative work, global sourcing efforts. I enjoy working on a global project team to support business growth, to make more friends all over the world, also learn new ideas. How to build high-performance, diverse teams for different cultures and backgrounds. My perspective is, first of all, teams to work together to set up specific goals with clear roadmap. Members in a diverse team come from different countries with different culture, also work experience. The exact project goal could let teams deal with uncertainty in the future. Especially when project proceeds, team is in a dilemma sometimes. A clear roadmap will guide whole team step by step to final goal. The process to alignment, also the good opportunity for diverse teams discussing deeply, invite different thoughts with creativity and innovation, help members understand each other. During health debate to confirm roadmap, we could get better solutions by experience, also more talents of diverse members, and a collaborative work habit could be developed within team. Here, I'd like to suggest the winning engineers be persistent, also receptive on the way. Add a project nature, unexpected difficulty, always there when proceed. Before it becomes an unforgettable memory, it challenges us. How to solve the problem? Remind yourself, be persistent, to have faith in success through to completion. Never give up, even sometimes feel frustrated by various conditions in a global team. On the other hand, positively look at diverse teams, a wonderful resource to get more ideas on solutions. Women who are good listeners could help teams to gather diverse inputs at that time, communicate frequently, help to think from other side and reach consensus, then find the best course, go forward to solve the problem. Finally, don't forget to recognize our diverse team when they will overwhelm difficulties together, when we beat challenges together. That is a success by global teamwork for sure. Thank you. Now, I'd like to turn to my colleague, Camila from Brazil.
Thank you, Erica. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Camila, and I'm really excited to be part of the DiscoverE Global Marathon with my colleagues today. I'm a technical manager from 3M Brazil with a background in chemistry and polymer engineering. I joined 3M 14 years ago and have worked in several technical roles within the company. The most recent one as a technical manager in the corporate research lab here in the US in a temporary assignment. I'm really glad to have been invited to participate in this broadcast today because the high-performance team is a topic that is very dear to me since for the past few years I've been working in managing global teams in the development of innovative solutions for 3M. I consider myself a good team builder, which is a straightforward task if the entire team is in a single location or is from the same cultural background. As Erica mentioned in her speech, the real challenge presents itself when we are faced with the task of building multinational team with different cultures, different languages, and why not also different local objectives. So my first piece of advice is get to know your team, their cultures, their values, and identify not only each individual's strengths and abilities, but also how these characteristics can benefit the team and its goals. Be sure that at the same time you are enabling proper communication and that everyone is being understood and comprehended. Secondly, I have found throughout my career that openness in a team leader is a powerful tool to generate openness within the team. On a personal note, according to a work style assessment, I'm quite a private person in comparison to Latin Americans. However, in comparison to North Americans, especially Midwesterners and Minnesotans, I could be considered pretty open. So, in other words, I believe that openness is a reflection of the environment, and it's up to the team leader to mold that environment according to the backgrounds of the team. And this is a great opportunity for us women engineers, because I believe it's easier for us to be open. And don't think that being open will be seen as a weakness. On the contrary, I truly believe that it will make you more trustworthy. Being open and receptive to other people's opinions and feedback is probably the best known and most applied aspect of openness. But to get people to really open themselves requires a deeper level of trust. Therefore, what I would like to encourage you to do is to share from the start of the team activities who you are, what your personal preferences are, what your expectations for the project and for the team are, and finally, what makes you operate most effectively. I believe that this openness will prompt and spark the same behavior from your team. An environment of openness allied with efficient communication will enable constructive criticism and feedback to arise, allowing the team to identify issues and gaps, but also new opportunities for a continuous improvement process. Thank you, and with that, I would like to turn it over to my colleague in Italy, Monica Dalla Riva.
Hello, thank you very much, Camila. I'm Monica, and I'm very happy to be here with you now. I started to learn about diversity in team members when I decided to work for innovative multinational companies. I've joined the European Design Center of a big American corporation as an internship designer. At that time, in '98, I learned how to work in an international team of 9 nationalities. I was very young, managing relationship goals within complex corporate processes and culture. I was young, and I believe that corporation acts all in the same way. In 2006, I was very fascinated about the fast-changing happenings in Eastern world. I would have liked being part of that change, working for an Asian company. With this idea in mind, I've joined a big South Korean electronics company, thinking that in any case, I've got already experience in a multinational company, and this would have served me well. The reality was very different. My experience was related to a Western collaborative corporate culture, but the environment was tough and competitive, a deep dive into the hierarchical male Korean culture. One day, my Korean manager became very nervous, but I said to him, Mr. Kim, even if we are both designers, we don't have a general common sense, mainly for one reason. I grew up in Italy, and you grew up in South Korea. Our common sense is not the same. He was right, and I was right. We had 2 different points of view. How to solve the problem? We changed our communication style. It was not easy to accept the change, but we reduced our misunderstanding and improved our teamwork. We enriched ourselves as persons and as professionals. The word innovation means, as Latin roots, innovare means to change, means doing something different instead of doing the same thing better. But innovation has a meaning only if it creates a value for the society. Otherwise, it's just an invention. Society is a complex system composed by people with different points of view and ideas. As women innovators, it's really important that we work for the good of the society as well. In all my professional experience, I've been working with unique persons, not diverse people. It's a paradigm change. It's a change of language that creates a change of meaning. We should talk about the uniquenesses. Everybody is unique in the world as a piece of art. There are not 2 people in the world that are the same. Being unique in the way we think, we act, we live is a positive concept, and positive energy is creating more changes than negative ones. Leveraging uniquenesses, it's the key of teamwork. You can leverage them highlighting the strength, recognizing the value, and giving the right space to people. The essential lever for change is shifting perspectives, consciously adopting a new point of view. Sometimes the opposite point of view you previously held, turning threats into opportunities, managing a team with a golden rule, unconditionally positive regards, no judgment, but understanding other points of view, and trust the team. If you have the opportunity to work on diverse team, you can get more richness and opportunities to innovate for the good of the society and the good of the company. Sometimes the best lessons comes from the analysis of your success, not of your failure. Sounds difficult? Well, the good news is that you don't need too much courage to do it, just enough to do the first step, and all the rest will fall in a unique and unexpected way. Be unique, be yourself, and have fun. Thank you. And let me turn it over to Karen McCarthy.
Thank you, Monica. Welcome, everyone. Monica shared her perspectives on the importance of women joining teams and creating good team diversity, richness, and uniqueness. Studies have shown that teams make better decisions than individuals because of that diversity of thought. In the U.S., we say 2 heads are better than 1. Teams become high-performing teams if they extend this thought and use these strategies. Number 1, be open to others on the teams and be flexible. Number 2, be respectful to the other team members and their different perspectives. Number 3, share the knowledge of all the team members and speak slowly so that everyone on the global team can follow. Number 4, listen to the concerns of your team members. Any team can use these principles. In a 2011 Harvard Business Review article, the authors suggest that this approach is very typical for women because women are socially sensitive. This means that women are not autocratic and they want to draw out the team members. It also means that women are often more open-minded and share criticism constructively. In this study, having a smart person dominate a conversation did not result in a good team intelligent decision. The best teams did not rely on just 1 or 2 smart people, but they used the collective knowledge of everyone on the team. This approach is more likely if there are women on the team to draw everyone out. Using this approach also creates the trust that some of my fellow colleagues have discussed. And going back to Monica's point on drawing out the team diversity and that uniqueness, if you can, choose team members with diverse backgrounds to broaden the team's perspective and add women to the team to add some social sensitivity. We're going to go to the next slide. I have been part of the 3M project management community for over 20 years, and one of my former roles at 3M was as a project management consultant. In consulting with hundreds of teams, a protocol was developed. A, get team agreement on a measurable project goal and scope. B, discuss and document all the team member concerns. And I want you to notice that echoes what was said on the first slide that I had. And the next thing is to establish project major milestones. And lastly, put that detailed plan together that shows the interdependency of the team members. And please incorporate tasks that address the project team's concerns. Those steps that are listed there, are typically done in a 1-day session with a short follow-up for the team to review the completed project plan. If this protocol is followed and team members can be open and trust each other, the team will have built a solid foundation. This takes a little time at the beginning of a project, but it will allow the team to go quickly later. As women on teams, it's important that we build respectful relationships. Since so much human communication is done nonverbally, it is especially important that we try to meet face-to-face in the early team formation. In my own experience at 3M, one of our programs is to bring international engineers to the U.S. to work on projects, working among the U.S. project team members. This results in some really valuable technical training. But I'm going to say that in my mind, it is even more important that they create those relationships and the network that is built in that 3 to 6 months that they are here visiting in the U.S. This has resulted in some really nice high-performing teams and increased speed on the projects. But the benefits actually go way beyond that, because on future projects, those relationships again become very beneficial. In conclusion, as women engineers, we can help to build a team that is a solid foundation and respects the diversity of team members. And that team is likely to become a high-performing team. At 3M, with these principles, high-performing teams have developed thousands of products and processes, resulting in 3M's world-renowned reputation for innovation. Thank you. I would like to reintroduce Nancy Seleski, our session leader, for the wrap-up.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks to all of our great women 3Mers who shared their stories with you this morning. We hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it that you can take away and start practicing. As most of you probably know, innovation is at the core of 3M and really is a very strong piece of our culture. But we also encourage individuals to show up as they are and offer their uniqueness. On teams, uniqueness provides the diversity of thought, creates the stage for good debate and dialogue, and plants the seed for great outcomes to take shape. It really is the only way that high-performance teams form and do collective work together. Thank you again, and we now would like to open it up for any questions that anyone has.
And Nancy, we have a question from Juliana, who would like to pose it to all of the presenters. Do you think women have advantages in team building skills?
I think I'll let Karen answer that question. She touched on it a little bit in her presentation, but Karen, would you like to comment?
Sure. You know, as I said in my presentation, I do believe that there are some special skills that women bring to teams in terms of that ability to draw people out and that social sensitivity that they bring forward. Anybody else have any other comments on the team panel?
I also mentioned in my speech that I think openness is an important aspect, and I think women have it easier to be open and to inspire people to open themselves and share their thoughts.
Erica, do you have any comments?
What I just mentioned is we who are good listeners could help teams to gather diverse inputs at that time when we meet some trouble. Also, communicate very often, then to help think from other sides, reach consensus, find the best occurs to solve the problem.
Thank you. And we have a question from LaShonda. Can you please provide some of the tactics you've used to deal with a team that is significantly aged in the midst of significant change?
I'd ask maybe Monica if you could make some comments about that.
Yeah, so actually I think it's a matter of personalities. It's a matter how you are trying to connect with empathy with the persons first, and from there you build an open discussion and point of view. So I think that really try to put ourselves in their other perspective is the key of every type of team building.
The other comment that I would make on that specific question would be, I think it's important to always maintain some level of freshness or always challenging. The longer teams are together, the more they get to know one another. So I think it's important to continue to get to know one another even at deeper levels the longer you are together. And that seems to keep people more engaged as they do work together.
And we have a question from Alicia, who asks, if a team doesn't seem to value diversity, how do you get them to open up? Any suggested techniques?
Erica, maybe you. Do you have any comments on that?
I think actually the diverse team involve more experience, also more talent. So it will help us to spark more new ideas, especially when we touch technical problems.
My comment on that might be, I think women, it's been said this morning that women are very adept and it's innate to want to build relationships with people. So I think if a team is struggling with opening up, perhaps taking a step back away from the technical issue or problem that they're trying to solve and rather focusing on just building relationships, getting to know one another on a more personal level, that seems to work very well, and then go back to trying to tackle the technical problem.
I would also encourage to find ambassadors within the team. I don't believe that that nobody in the team probably doesn't respect diversity. Probably you have one ambassador within the team that could help spark that kind of behavior and acceptance within the team. So try to identify who are the people that can help you in that task.
Do we have any more questions, Dalla?
Great. We have another question who's come in from Marcia, and she asks, how can we change team's environment to be more collaborative so we have a more motivated team?
Monica, would you like to try to answer that?
Yes, I think that the first point is finding the time to build a team. If you don't have opportunities to share even not just a working experience, but also coffee together, to share in a different environment, will be difficult then to really build from a relationship standpoint. So find really the way to also sometimes enjoying spending time together, just simply for the human being, and then introducing the working points afterwards.
If we, I would like to make one more comment also. I really do think that you do need to take what Monica says and make sure that you are getting to a little more of a personal level with people on a team instead of making it all about the work. Just ask them how their weekend was. Do the things that kind of bring it to a little more of a personal level. I really do think that changes relationships.
And we have a question that has come in from Rose. She asks, if the team leader is a closed person and makes the team close up, how can you deal with that as a team member? Good question.
So Camila, maybe you shared a little bit about style and about openness, if you will, in a culture of a Hispanic culture as well as Midwestern U.S. culture. So maybe you could make some comments.
I think I go back to what I mentioned about ambassadors. I think you need to identify someone within the team that probably have a longer or deeper relationship with the team leader and who can help the team leader to understand that closed behavior is not helping the team, and how to help the team leader to then try to open more with the team and try to spark that openness within the team. So I think really the role of finding someone that can spark that is really important.
I would make an additional comment, I think, and maybe two comments. One, I would try to seek, as a team member, if you know somebody who knows the team leader well, to try to get some insight into how to build a relationship with that team leader. And then I would also encourage any team member to get to know that team leader individually, one-on-one, in a more personal way. I find that if you get perspective on an individual, it makes it much more effective working with that person, just understanding where they're coming from.
Sure. And we have a question from Nelma. Any tips on how to make an extremely introverted colleague open up a little more? Any ideas, team?
Erica, maybe could you comment on that?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't catch clearly.
Oh, the question is, How do you, what tactics do you use or techniques to get a very, very introverted team member to open up and participate more?
Okay. First, I think if we have some maybe outstanding concern, suggest we could write down something and then clarify on time, and then try to catch what the real mean within the team.
Thank you. I think that's all we have time for this morning. So again, on behalf of 3M and the DiscoverE Global Marathon, we thank you for listening in, and we hope you have a great rest of the day.